Hi folks, Dr. Sledge here from Esoterica with a little year in review recap. 2021 was actually the first full year of the channel's existence, and I'd like to offer some reflections on the past year if that interests you guys at all. I suppose the first thing I want to express is just how absolutely blown away I am with the channel's growth this year. We started off the year just north of 10,000 subscribers, and as of wrapping it, we're over 115,000. That's over 100,000 subscribers growth in just 2021 alone. It just astounds me that a channel this niche, I mean, it's literally called Esoterica after all, could appeal to so many people so quickly. And I think this reveals a few things. One, people really are interested in these topics despite the fact that universities don't offer basically any of this education. Not only that, this channel aims to produce content at the higher end level of the undergraduate sort of level of engagement and does assume a significant amount of background in history, religion, and philosophy, and it's by no means sort of 5-minute introductory level content. This tells me also that folks are really interested in content well beyond what Wikipedia or some kind of sensationalist conspiratorial nonsense on YouTube has to offer. Secondly, the content is appealing to a much wider audience than one might suspect. From what I can tell, and it is honestly hard to get metrics on this, it seems that the majority audience of the channel are in fact religious and spiritual practitioners looking to better ground their worldview in the scholarly analysis of the topics at hand. But there's also just seems to be a solid audience of people interested in gaining a deeper understanding of an otherwise obscure and intentionally repressed and obscure dimension of the history of religion and ideas. These folks are just complete skeptics interested in history and religion. Of course, I'm really happy, of course, for both audiences. Honestly, I'm happy for any audience, given the weirdo stuff that goes on around here. Hi, Dr. John D. How's it hanging, buddy? Speaking of content, I've also been really happy to produce at least one episode of the show every week this year, some weeks featuring more than one episode. We've done some fun conversations and even provided a nearly 20-hour-long introduction to the Kabbalah as well. Most episodes run more than 20 minutes, some of them run over 30 minutes, and they provide for dozens of hours of content over the year in a wide range of topics in esotericism, featuring a pretty steady weird diet of magic and witchcraft, alchemy, Kabbalah, the occult, ancient mysteries, Egyptian ghost stories last week. Of course, that's not counting the regular live streams where I get to hang out with all of you guys, which is actually part of my favorite part of this job, honestly. It's just hanging out with folks and chatting about this stuff, where I get to take questions on specific topics and discuss specific episodes in a lot more further detail. All in all, I'm really proud of the content library that I've managed to produce this year, and I think it's going to hold up for quite some time. Of course, that's only possible because folks like you watch, comment, and share the content that I create. I just want to express my really deep gratitude for each and every one of you. You've made this channel what it is, and I'm deeply grateful for that I have an audience for this material stored away in these books and in my strange brain. Some of you even appreciate my sense of humor, which is endearing, but makes you all the more curious, just so you know. Of course, this channel is possible also because folks actually contribute financially to the channel. And as you probably know, before I started Esoterica, I was, like many thousands of academics, underemployed at the university. You might be surprised to learn that I've literally never been given an opportunity to teach a class in my actual specialty, Western Esotericism, at the university level ever. That's right, I've never been able to teach anything in the University of Esotericism. They just don't care that I know this stuff, despite what is, honest to God, a widespread student interest. Students really want to learn this stuff, and I'm never given the opportunity to teach it. Rather, I was, like many adjuncts, given a laundry list of introductory level classes and paid poverty wages to teach them. I'm not kidding you. In some places, this actually works out to less than the minimum wage with no health insurance, no retirement or parental leave. I even had to work both semesters when my kids were born if I wanted any income at all. Now, I'm not opposed to introductory level classes, those are important, but I have a specialty too. Not only has Esoterica given me a platform to follow my passion and vocation in life, being an educator, it's also providing me with enough of a wage that I can actually make ends meet for the first time in years. I can't really express to you how grateful I am to all of you for that. In fact, I'm taking next semester off from university lecturing to focus on the channel and take a little bit of a breather after 7 years of teaching sometimes up to 6 courses a semester. Of course, I want to return to teaching at the university. I benefited from such an education for many years, and I honestly feel that it's a sacred duty of mine to give that education back, both online to y'all, but also to give that back to my community, regardless of the pay or lack thereof. That said, what does the channel look like going forward? Well, I'm going to keep making the content I've been making, and I'm going to keep trying to hone my craft, especially on the aesthetic sides of things. So I might begin experimenting a bit, but never in such a way that would ever diminish the primary purpose of this channel, which is providing scholarly content on topics in esotericism that is as accessible as it is academically rigorous. I think the only major change I'm probably going to make starting next year is I'm going to take 1 week off a month from direct content creation. I think those weeks where I kind of take the week off will also serve as the weeks that I do live streams. Now, taking a week off is probably going to slow the growth of the channel a little bit, but I really want to make time for myself to recharge from time to time, because content creation burnout really is a thing, and I really want to get ahead of it now. It also gives me some time to do a good bit more research from month to month, and also to do deeper research on some of the topics that I've already covered to come back to them later. As you might imagine, the turnaround time on an episode for this channel is pretty crazy. A 25-minute episode from research, scripting, shooting, and editing is pretty challenging to do per week, as you probably imagine, and giving myself a bit more time each month, I think, will make for higher quality content as well. So I hope you appreciate that and understand why I might take a week off every month. Otherwise, I'm certainly wanting to put together another lecture series like the one we did on Kabbalah this year, and I'm leaning in the direction of something more philosophical for that class, something probably like the philosophical foundations of Western occultism, by exploring that really crucial period in Greco-Egyptian philosophy right around the turn of the Common Era. It's going to take some research, a lot of research, but I've always wanted to cover that time period, and so I really want to get to that at some point next year. I'm also wanting to start bringing other folks on for the live streams, converting all the content from the channel to a podcast form, which folks seems to like digesting in a different way than just videos, doing some on-site episodes, and expanding my offerings over at Esoterica Ex Libris. I've also been really surprised with how well that's going, knowing that the price point of such rare occult tomes can be rather inaccessible, but my goal there is to continue to make historical, hermetic, and occult volumes accessible at the most reasonable price point I can, without you having to navigate the labyrinth that is the rare book market. Overall, I want to continue making Esoterica a reliable, rigorous, and accessible point for access for content on topics in esotericism. Well, for me personally, it's been a pretty great year, I have to say, despite everything COVID has wrought. I was really proud how the departments that I teach for pivoted as best they could to provide students with the best education we could online. Of course, Zoom education is never going to be a real substitute for in-person learning, but I'm glad that I was able to do my best to adapt to provide my educational skills and do my duty as an educator the best I could, given the circumstances that we all got thrown into. I'm also extremely proud of how my students did, given everything that they had to deal with in their life, especially the epidemic of widespread anxiety and depression and the overwhelming tidal wave of mental health issues that I think everybody is struggling with. I've finally been able to get back to the gym and pick up lifting again and even pick back up some of my hobbies. Even if that did mean getting up at 5:30 most mornings. This year, even my 1-year-old learned to walk, which was crazy and amazing getting to see again. And now they run away from me because they try to eat my D20s. I now have to hide my dice. Of course, there have been hard periods and disappointments, but I think focusing through the wider lens of grace and gratitude about how good things truly are helps everything come into better focus, at least for me. And that's where I want to end this year-end review, with gratitude. I want to conclude by expressing again my gratitude for the possibility to make content like this, for the subscribers to this channel, for the thoughtful comments that all of you leave, for the wonderful folks that I get to know better and share this platform with. I'm thinking especially of folks like Angela and Zevi and Philip and Dan, and finally, especially for the folks that make this channel possible by providing their financial support. If you're able and if you've benefited from the channel's content over the past year, so consider supporting the channel over at Patreon. It's like buying me a beer every month or a cup of coffee. And you'd be surprised that every bit really does go a long way to support making this project of creating university-level, crowd-funded education on topics that would otherwise go completely unrepresented or terribly represented. You make that possible. Thanks again to all of you for making this a really stellar year for the channel. I just want to wish everyone a wonderful new year, and I'm looking forward to creating new content here at Esoterica in 2022. Until then, I'm Dr. Justin Sledge. Thank you for watching Esoterica, where we explore the arcane in history, philosophy, and religion.